which is a school with lots of Jewish kids. Let me tell you who the villains are in this picture, and you're going to be surprised. You're going to be surprised. The villains are not the anti-Israel professors on the campus. Look, they believe what they believe. They're not the villains. The villains are the pro-Israel professors on campus who don't have the guts to stand up and publicly declare their views. These are people, you know them, and there are some exceptions. These are people who are certainly prepared to stand up for Israel in their shuls, at their family seder, among their friends, among their faculty colleagues, in quiet little groups. But they will not take the risk of standing up for Israel in any public setting. How many pro-Israel active professors were there at University of Maryland? Not sure. I can tell you, Columbia, none. How do I know that? Because every year Columbia calls me, the students, and asks me to come and speak on behalf of Israel. And I say, you don't need a Harvard professor to come to speak on behalf of Israel. Get a Columbia professor. There are none. There are dozens who are pro-Israel, but they will not speak out on behalf of Israel. I hear that on college campuses all over the country, indeed all over the world. When I speak on college campuses, and I do it a lot, University of California, University of Ohio, Johns Hopkins, you name it, I almost always get a call the next day, and it's almost always the same. It's in a whispered voice on the telephone. Thank you so much, Alan, for speaking up on behalf of Israel. I say, why won't you speak up on behalf of Israel? Well, it'll affect my student evaluations. It'll affect my ability to get awards. And it's true. I was turned down from a number of awards and rewards. I couldn't care less, because I care so deeply about Israel that I'm not going to let those kinds of things influence me. And also I had, the virtue, I had tenure at a very early age, so I didn't have to worry about it. And in some ways I don't blame these teachers. But, having tenure means you have a contract to speak your conscience. That's what tenure is for. It's designed to protect you from retaliation. And so if there's one thing that students could do to increase the support for Israel on campuses, is make your professors speak up. Guilt them into doing it. Tell them they have to do it. They must stand up. Give them the ability to do it. The heroes are the students. And I have met students. I have a student named Joel Pollack. Some of you may know him. He's a very able guy. Ran for Congress, lost, but he's a very able guy. He was a student at Harvard Law School. And he saw a course being offered by Duncan Kennedy, a very prominent left-wing professor who's probably never been to Israel, knows nothing about the Middle East. But he's a lefty professor, so he had to teach a course on the Israel-Palestine conflict. It's obligatory. You lose your membership in the hard left if you don't teach a course on the Israel-Palestine conflict, and it's not anti-Israel. So he decided to do that, and Joel registered just because he wanted to see what was going on. He read the syllabus. It was totally anti-Israel. It was all Finkelstein, Chomsky, you name it. Nothing in the center and nothing in any kind of pro-Israel. So he went over to the professor and said, look, I know a lot about the Middle East. I've spent some years there. This is an unbalanced syllabus. I would like you to include the following books. And at my recommendation, I did not tell him to put in my book, because my book is a pro-Israel advocacy book. I asked him to put in books that were scholarly books at the center, just that were analyses. And the teacher said, look, this is my class. Don't tell me what to put in the syllabus. And Joel looked him right in the eye and he said, this is not your class. This is our class. And he created an alternate syllabus for himself with a book or an article. For every book and article that the professor put, he had an alternate syllabus. By the end of the semester, more students were reading books from his syllabus than the one-sided books on the other side. I never asked Joel what grade he got in the course, but he didn't care. He didn't care. He was willing to buck the professor and take on the professor. The students have been the heroes. The faculty members have been the villains. And that has to change. We have to pressure faculty members who support Israel into speaking up and not just being cowards.